Welcome to Crime Focus on Mate TV. I'm your host Moses Uba, and today we'll be discussing and we'll be talking on a very serious issue. We'll be talking about Mr. John Abiola Aderemi, who got missing for 4 years. Let's go for a short break. After that, when we come back, we'll discuss more about Mr. John Abiola. Welcome back. So today we're talking about Mr. John Abiola, who got missing for 4 good years. He got missing since 2018 down till now when he got discovered. Who is John Abiola? We don't have really much details about him, but all according to research and news out there, it says Mr. John Abiola is an engineer, yeah, and he used to travel often to Port Harcourt. He bases in Port Harcourt, and he's married to an Igbo woman there in Port Harcourt in their house. And according to what we know as well, he is also a divorcee. He got divorced with his wife, and that is why he comes to Oyo State, Ibadan, to build a house. Now, before he built a house, he has been living around, here and there, before he finally built his house, and he became a landlord. So, towards the mid of 2018 June, yeah, he told his carpenter that he will be traveling to Port Harcourt, and he will be coming back for a layer festival during December. And after that, that was the end. That was the last time they saw him. So, how they discovered this man, Mr. John Abiola. So in his house, his compound, the bushes were overgrown. It became a safe haven for reptiles, snake, and the rest. And the snakes and reptiles were crawling into the neighbor's compound, and which is harmful for his family and children. Committee of landlords, they came together and they had to do something about it because these reptiles are very dangerous to the family. So they had to go to the police station to get authority, and they go ahead to go into his compound and clear the bushes. So after getting the authority, the police and the authorities gave them the go ahead to do that. So they got the permission, and they went there to clear the bushes. So clearing, as they were clearing, they discovered his car, a golf car of Mr. John Abiola in the compound, which has been covered with bushes. So as they were clearing, they cleared and they got the site of the building, and one of the landlords who were around the men that were cleaning, saw the one of the window open at Mr. Abiola's house. So he had to go there and peep. On getting there, he was in shock and saw the remains of Mr. John Abiola. So he had to raise alarm and call people, and it was all in shock. People were shocked going there to see the remains of Mr. John Abiola, who has been missing for the past 4 years. Ever since June 2018 till now, this is the time they saw him, and he is dead. His remains were the only thing in the building. So this has brought up suspicion, and they called the police authority to come see the matter and how. So now news and the question out here is how he died, who killed him, how did he die, he got missing, and nobody even think of asking or raising alarm for the past 4 years. None of these things was made. So they had to now, investigations started coming up, and they had to start asking people what they know about him. So they asked, Mr. John Abiola is the kind of person that he just comes in, though he pays his dues as a landlord, he pays his dues and all the rest, but he doesn't, mingle. The only thing he does is just greeting, good morning, good afternoon, good night, and that's all. He's an engineer, and he traveled a lot to Port Harcourt for his engineering work. So the only person who was a little bit close to him was his carpenter, and who the carpenter who came out to say that he's he know there was a time that he was discussing with Mr. John Abiola, and he told him that he has a wife in Port Harcourt, and who is an Igbo by tribe, and they had divorced. He also had 2 to 3 children, according to reports. And there was also a time he was talking extensively with his daughter, who is abroad now, and treating malaria. As we also discovered that he was having health issues. Since he was talking with his family's daughter abroad, that means he has a good relationship with the daughter. So after the death, after he got missing, like since 2018 and 2019, early 2019, no reports, no nothing, down to 2020, 2021, and now 2022 before he got discovered. Nobody came out to, like, none of the family member came to look for him. None of the family member, the daughter, the wife, the ex-wife, none of them came to look for him or even raised an alarm or made any report at all. So this is bringing suspicion now on whether he died a natural death or he was murdered. That is it. That's what the question is bringing out now. People are asking whether he died a natural death or he was murdered in his house. So this is a video showing on how they were trying to break the door, because the door was locked from the inside. So it wasn't as if it was left open. The door was locked from the inside and also from the back door as well, but they didn't go there to show us whether the back door was locked or not. But this is showing that the door was locked on the inside. So he was inside and nobody was in there with him. And looking at his cups and everything, his phone, his laptop, his television, and all the drugs, the malaria drugs and all that, the BP, high blood pressure drugs and everything, were also in the house with him and covered in dust. So are we to say he died a natural death by a heart attack, or he slumped, or anything happened to him and he died? So that's it. But also, let's see why. Why is it that for the past 4 years, nobody, none of the family member, not even brother, sister, mother, the wife, the children, none of them came out and asked about this man or raised the alarm that, oh, I've not heard from him for a month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, you've not heard from your father, you didn't raise an alarm, you didn't come back to Nigeria to, like, search for your father. And the wife as well, though they have separated, but she's still the right person to raise an alarm. And now why he left Port Harcourt and built an house in Oyo State here is because they separated. Yes, they separated, and he maybe wanted to start life afresh, or he wanted to start living alone. That's why he came. People were like also asking and saying that, okay, he died in his room, and didn't people perceive the composition of his body at the early stage, the smell and everything? No, he finished the building of his house 2018. No more, no neighbor, just him. And according to research and investigation, he got missing 2018. So that's to say he died 2018. So if he died 2018 and the neighbor packed in 2020, he must have, the composition and the smell and everything would be about a month or two. That'll be all. The competition is over and becomes skeleton. And that's what we can see here. So we don't really know. Investigation are still made, are still being the police are still making investigation to know, to also get to find the whereabouts of the family, the wife and the rest, because they tried searching his phone. Most of the SIM cards are invalid, and even the one that's that are still going. They made the calls and the rest. Somebody picked it, and maybe when they told the person the story, the person was just laughing on the phone. And according to them, maybe the number has been relocated to another person, to another customer. My advice for the police is that they should go through his bank account. If for the past 4 years no transaction has been made, then it can be said that he died a natural death. So it's not as if anybody wants to kill him for his money or want to take over his house because death. But for now, investigation is still made, and also his remains are still in his house, so that they can try to contact the family member, the wife, or to also look for the mother, so that they can see that okay, his son, the husband, the father died in the house, and there's nothing fishy and they don't want to hide anything from them. So we'll be giving you updates on this when we get from the police. Keep on subscribing, keep on watching Crime Focus on Mates TV. More updates on Mr. John Abiola Aderemi. I'm your host, Moses Uba. Thanks for watching.